You're welcome back to the Pulse on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. And just before the break, we were talking about the debilitating effects of the Galamsey operations in parts of the country. Well, Justice Beidou, my colleague, has been covering a lot of the stories in this regard. He joins me now with some more details. Justice, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon,
yes, we may be trying to recover or get to understand exactly what's happening in Asamasa in the eastern region, but it only paints the bigger picture of how Galamsey is affecting a lot of people. You've been to some communities. We know the story in Anlo Town as it spreads in the Pra River up until that area. But tell us the kind of harrowing stories of how Galamsey is really affecting people's lives.
Absolutely, Francis. Galamsey is a national epidemic, if you like to call it. I think that it has reached the scale where we really need to treat it as a national security issue. I have seen stories the last time I covered something on Galamsey before the one on the Pra in the Upper East region, where children as young as 7 are now in busy Galamsey work, using dangerous chemicals as mercury with their bare hands and basically finding gold, dropping out of school. And not just that, in places like the Upper East region, where people are largely into farming and are dependent on agricultural lands, where lands are now being taken in large tracts and being turned into mine sites. And so these are, for example, in the Upper East region, how this is having an impact on the everyday lives of people. If you come to places like the Western region, Western and Central regions, where a river as critical as the Pra, which runs through more than 4 regions in this country, is now lost its color. It's increasingly losing its content in terms of the species that are in it, the fishes and all of that, which serves as a big source of livelihood for several communities along the Pra.
But and that speaks to that problem of alluvial mining in the Pra River. That's the difference. There are some which are done on land, in farmlands in parts of the country.
Yes.
But the Pra River situation is one of alluvial mining across the stretch. From if you're coming from, is it Biposo?
Biposo. So
Biposo all the way to.
So Biposo all the way up the Pra River finds its source somewhere in the Ashanti region, Ashanti Volta Bronga-Hafu region, and so it stretches all through. And I mean, we now know that the huge deposits of gold inside the course of the river itself. But Francis, I think the real problem is that we haven't seen Galamsey for the realities that it is, which is that people live along these resource-rich areas and feel that they can't. You can't sit beside food and go hungry. And so, yes, it's either you die or you get into mining.
So it's about getting rich quick or die trying.
Die trying. So what I should expect is that as a nation, we then regulate it in a way that people are still able to mine, but not to the extent that it comes back to affect us in the way that it is at the moment.
No, but again, Justice, the example you give for the Upper East or Upper West region, where children as young as 7 are getting into this business, what's their motivation? Because
it's poverty. It's poverty, and there's no other answer to this question. It's poverty, and like I said, you won't sit behind, you won't sit beside a bowl of fufu and die of hunger. And that is the reality, that we need to see this as just beyond people wanting money in their pocket. It's something that people are doing for survival. And it is the reason why there are supposed to be rules, regulations, and laws to regulate the industry. We have, as a country, put together a mining law that says that small-scale mining is supposed to be the preserve of Ghanaians. You go around the country, and in towns in the central region, I have covered stories in places like Dunka, which is now a Chinatown, if you like, where everybody, it's taken over by Chinese nationals who are into big time small-scale mining, which we have said that should be for Ghanaians, you know. And so if we are unable to regulate the industry well and leave it in the way that it is at the moment, where it's a free-for-all fight, where you can just go in and you do as you please and get what you want. This is what we have, where we are shooting down people who will tell you that I'm just here to find my daily bread.
Now, the worrying thing here is that even for the Asamasa example, they were shot, bodies being retrieved, but they've gone to regroup, come back with ammunition and saying that they are staying there, they are still mining, they are not leaving an inch.
Exactly.
Why that entrenched position?
Exactly, because these are people who have been driven, who seem to have all opportunities at making life blocked. You have young people who are falling out of school, they have no education, they have no skills training, they have no opportunities to earn a job for themselves. You have to live, you have to survive. And like I said, and I'm saying that it will go on. I mean, if you like, let's take the cameras back there in just a matter of weeks. You see these people there mining because they've seen the gold is there. And yes, they haven't got a job, so they need to survive. So like I'm saying that these things will be there, but it is us to us as a country. And it is disappointing that not a single political party that is seeking the mandate of the people of this country in this upcoming election has said anything concrete as to how they are going to fight this menace of Galamsey.
We can't find it in any of their manifestos.
I mean, what we've seen, for me, are the things that we've always been doing, which is to say, for example, that we are going to regularize small-scale mining and all of that. But the point is that we do have laws. We have laws that are in existence that all we need to do is to enforce them. And to think of it on a bigger level is to create more opportunities for young people to find alternative livelihoods. Many of these young people are people who have fallen out of school, like I said before, haven't got a skill to earn any job aside getting into this, you know. And so I think that we need clear direction in terms of policy and in terms of things that we want to do as a nation to fight this. Otherwise, we will be in this circle and we will come back again and tell the same story next year.
Okay, that's one thing is for sure. We will not stop this conversation. Maybe for now we are taking a break on that, but it is something we'll pursue here on this channel. Try and get to the bottom of this and find those who are supposed to take action to do that. We will extend this conversation to the police, the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, and also for all the bodies involved that need to do something about this. We will take this issue to their doorstep and see what answers we get from them, as this issue has gradually become a national security matter. That's for the issue of Galamsey. Thank you, Justice, for the perspective you bring to this conversation. He's been covering a lot of the stories in these areas that have been stricken by illegal mining and the debilitating effect on children, the vegetative cover, our water bodies, and everything you can think of. Clearly, a crisis is upon us and we need to do something about it. That's what Galamsey. But let's move on to other issues today, because we also know that even in this political season with 18 days to go, the temperature is rising steadily. But before we even get to that, something is happening right now in the capital. Businessman Alfred Agbeshi-Woyome is currently addressing a news conference. We know that he will face former Attorney General Martin Amidu at the Supreme Court next Thursday, but he has some words to share, a second in 2 days, live on air. Let's get details now. We will speak to our correspondent on the ground who is covering the news conference for us, and we will tell you what else has been happening in just a moment. But you're still watching The Pulse on the Joy News channel. Quick break. When we're back, we'll bring you the details of what Mr. Woyome has been speaking to and also matters on the campaign trail. Stay with us.